The second informal summit between India and China is highly anticipated engagement. But before that happens, Imran Khan has rushed to China. This is his third visit to the country in less than 1 year. What is the Pakistani Prime Minister doing in China, and why has he gone now? And what is the Pakistan Army Chief doing there with him? Some serious subcontinental power play is underway. We'll answer the 5 big questions that cover this story involving India, Pakistan and China. Question 1. What is Imran Khan's latest visit to China all about? It's all about Kashmir again. In fact, realizing that the diplomatic campaign to internationalize Kashmir has failed, the Pakistani army has gone into an overdrive. And the focus of the visit is not Imran Khan. All eyes are on Pakistan's Army Chief, General Qamar Javed Bajwa. Yes, he too is in Beijing with the Prime Minister. According to a report, Bajwa and Khan went to China separately. Bajwa arrived on Monday, Khan landed on Tuesday. Gulf News reported that Pakistani establishment is trying to convince China to support it on Kashmir. Guess what happened next? China has shifted its stand on Kashmir. Beijing has called it a bilateral issue. A statement from China's foreign ministry said that Kashmir should be resolved through dialogue and consultation between India and Pakistan. China has dropped references about the UN Charter and UN Security Council. Remember, in the past few weeks, Beijing had taken a tough stand against Delhi. It even led a diplomatic initiative at the UN Security Council on behalf of Pakistan. It even, in fact, had called for an UN intervention in Kashmir. But now China is very much washing away its hands of the matter. Bilateral issue it is. This brings us to the second question. Who is leading this delegation? The Army Chief or the Prime Minister? The answer is in these pictures there. Let me explain the sequence. This man walking and shaking hands is the Chinese Prime Minister. He is meeting with the Pakistani delegation. After greeting Imran Khan, he moves ahead to meet the rest of the team. Now watch carefully. General Bajwa is in fact gesturing the Pakistani Prime Minister to introduce members of the delegation. In a way, the general is telling the Prime Minister to do his job. The video is a metaphor. The Pakistani Army Chief calls the shots. The army runs the state of Pakistan. And after the debacle at the United Nations, the Pakistani army is taking matters into its own hands. They could not entrust Imran Khan with this China visit. General Bajwa came first. He held a series of high-level meetings. He has met China's top military commanders. He's also attending Imran Khan's meetings with President Xi Jinping and the Chinese Premier. Clearly, the Pakistani army is taking matters in its own hands and more openly now. Question number 3. What does the timing of this visit signify? This is just days ahead of the Chinese president's visit to India. Is Pakistan trying to send a message to India? Does it hope to win more concessions from China? Whatever the plan, it has not worked. China will not take sides before the informal summit. A balanced statement on Kashmir signals just that. And that brings us to question number 4. Does this mean progress between India and China? Is the Wuhan spirit intact? The Wuhan summit of 2018 was not just a reset. It was a good step towards redefining the India-China relationship. A broad framework, in fact, a framework to deepen ties was laid out, but the progress has been slow. Major issues like the boundary dispute are yet to be resolved. Issues such as trade need a lot of work, but the leadership on both sides is still willing to talk, and that is an encouraging sign. And finally, question number 5. China, India and Pakistan. Who is the third wheel in this relationship? It's safe to say that China will not pick one over the other. This is more of a balancing act. China wants to keep Pakistan on its side, but it's more of a colony now. China does not have to appease Pakistan. Now, India, on the other hand, is a market for China. It wants to benefit from. India is also a strategic player China cannot ignore. The recent meeting of the members of Quad was a clear message to Beijing. A strong India-China partnership can be a force for a new world order. Investments in Pakistan gave China a regional edge and a mountain of bad debt. It's not a tough choice, really.
汪洋、王沪宁、韩正出席座谈会。